Hey guys, it's Coach Nick Gloff with Team Camp Jansen. Today I'm going to be going through deficit stiff leg deadlifts. Now if you haven't seen the previous videos of the RDL and the stiff leg deadlift, I would go and watch those first, because a lot of those basic cues are going to be exactly the same for this, only some slight modifications so that you can do this with a deficit. So make sure you watch that before this one. Other than that, okay. So first of all, when you're picking a deficit, you really don't want to go with anything that's going to bring the bar like all the way to your foot, because obviously you have to bring your hands to the bar to grip it anyway. And being at that deficit, you're going to have to push the bar pretty far away from you for you to be able to have a neutral spine while hinging far enough over to pick it up off the floor. So you can start from anything from like a plate elevation of just a couple of inches, moving up, moving up, moving up. I like to go with a fairly deep deficit here, just because the pattern seems to work well for me at this point. So start off, you want to set your feet in about the same position you would for any other deadlift variation. Okay, so directly underneath the hips, a little bit inside, a little bit outside, depending on where it is that feels most comfortable for you. For me, I tend to like having them directly underneath my hips. Now, first things first, the way you set up for any deadlift is going to be the make or break for the entire set. First rep is everything that matters. After that point, it's just replication. So start off, you don't want to just bend over lazily and try to pick up the bar. Not a good idea. The setup's going to be off. The first rep's going to be off. Every rep following that's all going to be off. Okay? So especially with this, where this is going to have extra injury potential over just a regular conventional deadlift or any of the RDL, stiff leg, any of the others, because you're at a further disadvantage here being at the deficit. You're going to be much more likely to hurt yourself if you screw up the setup and try to pull all this weight dead off the floor without being well set. Okay? So start from the top, already getting yourself emulated as if you already have the bar in your hands before you bend to the bar. Get tall, knees locked, chest proud, spine neutral, not extended. Sit the hips back as far as you can with straight legs. Then from there, bend your knees only far enough for you to get your hands to the bar. Okay? Grip. Your grip wants to be just about as normal for an RDL or a stiff leg. You don't really want to change it. So I like to put my fingers just about, if I bring my thumb to the bar, this line right here, middle knuckle, goes across the spot on the knurl, and that is the universal setup for me. Find what works for you. I set my grip. Now, I don't pull from here. First thing to do, get the legs straight, get your chest proud, keep the bar over the toes, pull. So for bar placement, for a stiff leg, you don't want the bar to be really close to you. The closer the bar is to your shins, the more you have to turn your hips under you and get the knee bend for you to actually pull the bar. So for a regular stiff leg, you're gonna have, well, if I was standing on the ground, have the bar sitting just about mid-foot, just slightly in front of. For a deficit, for you to get the bar to the floor and then get another rep, you want it to be a little bit further. So just about at the line where your big toes are. Okay, so the first knuckle of the big toe. Come here, grip, pull the chest up, up. The first rep of every set for stiff leg deficits too, I like to pull from a little bit less than stiff than all the rest of the reps. So if you notice, if I go for a full set, fully set up, down to the bar, first rep, I'm gonna pull with a little bit of knee bend to get it up. Then from there, get my legs locked a little bit harder, then come down slow. Then from there, it can all come from the hips. I tend to like doing it that way because if you're already at a disadvantage being at this deficit, it's hard to set up. If you try to pull from the stiff leg with your leg all the way straight and you haven't already pulled the tension off the bar yet, you haven't gotten yourself fully set. If you have anything near a weight that's going to be really productive for you, that's actually pushing on your strength potential, try to pull that dead off the floor in slightly off position with your knees almost fully locked. Bad idea. That's another thing that's just occurring to me. For a stiff leg, stiff is a relative term, not an absolute term. So we're not trying to set up and have our knee in full lockout. We don't want the knee bowed behind us. You want a straight leg, not a knee locked leg. Here, not here. You get here you're starting to look at it being dangerous, right? Now, I'll do a couple of reps just for the sake. Full setup. Lock eyes with something about 10 feet away from you on the floor. No craning. Set on the bar. Bar out over the toes. No hyperextension. You stay forward. So if you were looking at me from the side, you'd see my shoulders are sitting directly over my hips, slightly forward, not behind. As soon as you start doing this, you messed up.